Natra Binti Faisal, matrix number 24052363. Today, I'll be presenting the first half of the 10 points case summary for case application 1, which is big brown numbers. Firstly, UPS delivers over 20 million packages every single day to more than 220 countries. This shows the massive scale of UPS operations. Their operations reach almost every part of the world, and they handle a huge volume of deliveries every single day. This means they require a highly organized system and a reliable network of workers, vehicles, and distribution centers. Secondly, UPS focuses on doing things in the most consistent and efficient way. Efficiency and uniformity are two of UPS's core principles. This means that every process, from loading packages to driving routes, is standardized so that it can be done quickly and accurately. By having a consistent system, UPS reduces mistakes, maintains reliability, and ensures customers receive their packages on time. Thirdly, drivers are trained with strict rules such as no left turns and no backing up. These rules might sound unusual, but they are based on data and safety research. Avoiding left turns helps drivers reduce the time spent waiting in traffic, which saves fuel and prevents delay. Not reversing the truck helps reduces the chances of accidents, since backing up is one of the biggest causes of delivery vehicle collisions. These small rules create big improvements in safety and efficiency. Next, UPS emphasizes procedures to reduce time wastage and improve safety. UPS is well known for breaking down tasks into the most efficient steps possible. Even saving a few seconds per delivery becomes significant when multiplied by thousands of drivers doing the same action every single day. This focus on small time savings helps UPS delivers millions of packages faster while also keeping operations smooth and safe. Other than that, UPS introduced Orion, which is a route optimization algorithm developed over 10 years. Orion represents one of UPS's biggest technological achievements. It took a decade to build because it had to analyze massive amounts of data and predict the most efficient delivery routes. This system helps UPS reduce fuel costs, shorten delivery times, and make better decisions. Investing on Orion shows how committed UPS is to improving their operations through advanced technology.
Hi, my name is Almirano Sofia Binti Faisal, matrix number 24223823, and now I'll be continuing the other half of the summary for big brown numbers. Continuing with the 6th point, Orion helps UPS drivers choose the most efficient delivery routes out of billions of possibilities. It analyzes huge amounts of data to find the fastest, safest, and most fuel-efficient route for each driver. Next, each driver receives 2 route options daily, Orion's and the traditional route. Drivers compare both routes every morning. They can either follow Orion's optimized route or stick to the usual one they're used to. However, drivers must justify if they choose not to follow Orion's suggested route. UPS wants consistency and accountability. If a driver rejects Orion's route, they must explain why, for example, road closures, personal judgment, or special deliveries. Moving on, some drivers are resistant due to reduced autonomy or unfamiliar Orion logic. Not all drivers fully trust Orion at first since it was new. Some feel like they lose their freedom to choose routes, and others find the system's logic unfamiliar or hard to adapt to. And last but not least, UPS believes combining Orion with drivers' experience improves efficiency and sustainability. UPS values human experience. They believe the best results happen when Orion's data is combined with drivers' real-world knowledge, leading to smoother, greener, and more efficient operations.
Hello and good morning, everyone. My name is Nur Sarah Nafisa Binti Yahya, matrix number 25007262. Now that all of you get the gist of the case study on UPS, I will be starting off with the first question. Why is efficiency and safety so important to UPS? Well, the company delivers more than 20 million packages a day. Can you believe that? This also means tons of decisions have to be made in order to deliver efficiently and on time to keep up with the company standards. So let's see how UPS does it. Efficiency is especially important to UPS. This is because when drivers use efficient routes, it helps to reduce fuel consumption, save time, and cut operating costs like vehicle maintenance in the long run. To achieve this, UPS introduced a routing system called Orion, which stands for On-Road Integrated Optimization and Navigation. Orion uses advanced algorithms to help drivers choose the fastest and most effective route, reducing unnecessary miles. For example, drivers are trained to avoid left turns, which can waste fuel and cause delays by forcing the vehicle to wait in traffic. Through these strategies, UPS doesn't just deliver packages, they deliver them faster, safer, and more efficiently than ever. Additionally, safety is also one of the company's top priorities. Rules are enforced by managers who confront a structured problem because they are simple to follow and ensure consistency. With millions of packages moving every day, even one small mistake can lead to accidents or damaged goods. Not to mention, decisions can be made based on past experience. This is why UPS trains its drivers with strict safety practices designed to protect both people and packages. For example, drivers are taught the no backing up rule. Why? Because reversing is one of the most common causes of collisions. By avoiding it, UPS keeps their drivers safe and deliveries smoother. These safety habits build trust with customers and strengthens UPS's reputation as a company that delivers with care. That is all from me, and I will now pass on to the next presenter.
Next, I will answer whether a United Parcel Service or UPS drivers' route decisions are structured or unstructured problems, and whether they rely on programmed or non-programmed decisions. To begin, UPS driver route decisions are best understood as structured problems. A structured problem is clear, familiar, and routine. This matches the daily responsibilities of a UPS driver very closely. Their goals are straightforward. Each day, they will have to deliver packages safely, efficiently, and on time. There's no uncertainty about what needs to be achieved. The tasks involved in delivery include scanning packages, driving the route, and dropping off items are repeated every day, so drivers develop strong familiarity with the process. Another key reason this is a structured problem is that drivers receive complete information before the shift begins. Using the Delivery Information Acquisition Device, or also known as DIET, they can see all their packages, all addresses, and any special delivery requirements. Because nothing is ambiguous and all the information is available from the start, drivers are not making decisions based on guesswork. This aligns perfectly with the definition of a structured problem. It is also important to highlight that delivery work at UPS is an operational level task. Structured problems usually occur at the operational level of an organization because these tasks involve routine, day-to-day activities. In contrast, unstructured problems tend to be handled by higher level managers. Since UPS drivers are performing repetitive duties as part of frontline operations, their decision environment is naturally structured. The company's major investment in on-road integrated optimization and navigation, or also known as Orion, further proves that the problem is structured. Orion is a route optimization system built over 10 years to find efficient delivery sequences out of billions of possibilities. UPS would not be able to automate or optimize the route planning process if the problem changed unpredictably every day. The success of Orion demonstrates that the route planning task follows stable patterns that can be analyzed mathematically, which is characteristic of a structured problem. Because their tasks are structured, UPS drivers rely heavily on programmed decisions. Programmed decisions are routine choices made using established rules, procedures, or policies. UPS provides drivers with very clear rules such as avoiding left turns and avoiding backing up the truck. These rules are designed to improve efficiency and reduce accident risk. Since these rules do not change daily, they represent a classic form of programmed decision making. Drivers also follow fixed procedures for scanning packages, loading the truck, arranging items in the cargo area, and carrying out deliveries. Procedures allow drivers to handle tasks consistently and safely without having to rethink the process every time. UPS have spent designing and standardizing these procedures to ensure uniform quality across thousands of drivers. Tools like DIET and Orion also reinforce program decision making. DIET guides drivers through each step of the delivery process, and Orion provides an optimized delivery route based on routine criteria like distance, deadlines, and safety restrictions. Because these tools provide predetermined solutions, drivers simply follow the recommended actions instead of creating new methods on their own. If a driver chooses not to follow the Orion route, they even need to provide a justification which shows how strongly the company relies on standardized program decision making. Although drivers sometimes face small unexpected issues like traffic delays, this does not change the overall classification. These minor disruptions do not make the task unstructured. Drivers still fall back on rules, procedures, and their training which are designed specifically for predictable routine problems. Thus, UPS driver route decisions are structured problems because they involve clear goals, repeated tasks, complete information, and operational level activities. As a result, the decisions are handled through program decision making, supported by standardized rules, fixed procedures, and optimization tools such as Diet and Orion. This combination ensures safety, consistency, and efficiency across UPS entire delivery system.
Hi, my name is Alna Natra, matrix number 24052363. Now I'll be presenting the first half of the answer to question 213, which is, how will Orion technology help drivers make better decisions? Orion technology enhances drivers' decision-making by supporting all 8 steps of the decision-making process. UPS designed Orion not just as a GPS tool, but as a system that helps drivers make better, faster, and more accurate decisions throughout their workday. It acts like a decision-making partner, guiding them through every step, from recognizing problems to selecting the best route. The first step involves identifying the problem. Drivers often face challenges such as inefficient routes, traffic delays, wasted fuel, and unnecessary time spent on the road. Orion helps identify these problems by analyzing past delivery patterns, real-time conditions, and areas where drivers normally lose time. By pinpointing these inefficiencies, Orion makes it clear that optimizing the route is the main problem to solve. The second step is identifying the criteria needed for an effective decision. To make a good routing decision, drivers need to consider several factors: distance, traffic, delivery deadlines, weather, road restrictions, neighborhood layouts, and fuel consumption. Orion automatically collects and organizes all these data. This ensures that the important criteria are clearly identified before any decision is made, making the process more structured and reliable. The third step is weighing these criteria. Not all criteria have the same level of importance. Some deliveries may be time-sensitive, some routes may be heavily congested, and certain areas may have safety considerations. Orion evaluates and prioritizes these factors by analyzing company goals, customer requirements, and live traffic data. This weighing helps drivers understand which elements should influence their route choices more heavily. The fourth step involves developing alternatives. One of Orion's strengths is its ability to generate multiple route options. It evaluates various possibilities by considering traffic flow, weather conditions, the order of deliveries, and the distances between stops. Instead of drivers relying solely on experience, Orion presents several well-calculated alternatives, giving drivers more choices to work with.
Hi, my name is Almira Nur Sofia binti Faisal, matrix number 24223823. Now, I will continue to explain question 213 by focusing on the last 4 steps of the decision-making process. These steps are analyzing alternatives, selecting the best alternative, implementing the decision, and finally, evaluating the decision. First, in step 5, analyzing alternatives, Orion processes millions of possible delivery routes for each driver. It doesn't just look at the main roads, it also considers private roads, real-time traffic patterns, and estimated delivery times. By analyzing all these factors, Orion is able to give drivers a clear comparison of the available options instead of leaving them to rely on guesswork or past experience. Next, in step 6, selecting the best alternative, Orion chooses the route that saves the most time and fuel. The system is designed to balance speed with consistency, so the route chosen is not only fast, but also reliable and practical for daily operations. This ensures that drivers can follow a path that is efficient without compromising safety or delivery accuracy. Moving on to step 7, implementing the decision. Once Orion recommends a route, UPS drivers can either follow that suggestion or stick to the traditional route using the DIAD device. If they choose Orion's route, the system guides them step by step throughout the delivery process. This makes it easier for drivers to stay on track, avoid unnecessary turns, and reduce time spent on the road. Finally, in step 8, evaluating the decision, UPS reviews delivery data at the end of each route to measure performance. They look at whether the chosen route was efficient, whether deliveries were on time, and whether fuel usage improved. This evaluation helps Orion refine its future route recommendations because the system learns from real-world results. Over time, this continuous feedback loop makes Orion smarter and more accurate. So overall, Orion strengthens decision-making by combining data-driven analysis, prioritization, and real-time guidance to support more efficient and reliable delivery performance.
Hi everyone, I'm Nuraisha, metric number 25004112. For the next question, how UPS being a sustainable company? United Parcel Survey, UPS operate under a strategic framework that emphasizes operational excellence, customer satisfaction, employee empowerment, and global competitiveness. At the heart of this strategy is customer satisfaction, measured through metrics such as the Customer Satisfaction Index and on-time delivery rates. UPS continually leverage digital innovation, real-time tracking, flexible delivery option, and responsive customer service to meet and exceed customer expectations. In 2024, the company achieved an on-time delivery rate of 96.5% during the holiday season, to demonstrating its operational reliability and commitment to client trust. Next is the company focus on employee relations, which is captured through its Employee Relation Index. UPS invests heavily in workforce development, professional training, and inclusive workplace initiatives such as Fit to Serve and Network of the Future. It is to fostering a motivated, engaged, and resilient workforce. From a competitive standpoint, UPS leveraged its global logistic network, technology-driven solution, and operational efficiency to maintain a leading position against rivals such as FedEx, DHL, and Amazon Logistics. Initiatives targeting premium logistic market like healthcare and international small package shipping reinforce its competitive advantage. For instance, UPS projected revenue of 108 to 140 billion by 2026, alongside an adjusted operating margin above 30%, signaling a deliberate focus on sustainable and profitable growth. Additionally, time in transit. The average time package take from origin to destination is a key metric UPS continuously optimized through advanced routing, automated sorting, and integrated air ground fleet, ensuring faster, more reliable deliveries. UPS also integrates a strong environmental sustainability strategy focused on carbon reduction. The company is expanding its alternative fuel and advanced technology fleet, including electric, hybrid, electric and natural gas vehicle with a goal of 40% of ground operation powered by low or zero emission vehicle by 2030. Complementing this, UPS invests in renewable energy sources, electric from solar, wind, and other sustainable resources to reduce greenhouse gas emission across facilities. The company also enhanced aircraft efficiency by deploying next generation fleet, optimizing flight routes, and implementing fuel-saving technology to reduce emission per package transported. These combined measures support UPS ambitious goal of achieving net zero carbon emission by 2050. In addition to environmental initiatives, UPS actively pursues social sustainability, centering on employee development and community engagement. The company provides comprehensive training, mentorship, and leadership programs that strengthen employee skills, job satisfaction, and long-term career growth. Beyond internal development, UPS engages with communities globally through UPS Foundation, which is invest in education, disaster relief, and environmental programs, and encourage employees to volunteer their time and expertise. By intervening workforce development with community engagement, UPS ensures that its operations create shared value, positively impacting both employees and the broader society. Through this integrated approach, by balancing corporate excellence, environmental responsibility, and social stewardship, that UPS positions itself as a forward-looking logistic leader. By investing in people, technology, and sustainable practice, the company not only strengthens its competitive edges, but also reinforces its role as a responsible global citizen delivering value to customers, employees, communities, and shareholders alike. That's all from me. Thank you.
In conclusion, UPS is a strong example of how a global logistics company can stay efficient and sustainable through disciplined operations and technology. By relying on clear standardized procedures, UPS shows that routine program decisions can actually make a huge difference by reducing accidents, cutting fuel costs, and saving millions of dollars every year. One of the biggest improvements is Orion, the route optimization system that analyzes billions of possible routes. Orion helps drivers to make faster and smarter decisions, as well as ensuring delivery routes are consistent and efficient. Even though some drivers were unsure at first, UPS believes that combining human experience with advanced technology produces the best results. And Orion supports the company's larger goals such as lowering costs, improving customer satisfaction, and reducing environmental impact. What's also impressive is UPS's commitment to sustainability. From expanding its alternative fuel fleet to investing its renewable energy and community initiatives, UPS proves that efficiency and environmental responsibility can coexist together. Overall, UPS's case shows how disciplined process, empowered by data and technology, helps the company to remain competitive and a sustainable leader in the global logistics industry.
Hi, my name is Alisha Christina binti Ahmad Nasir. So now we're going to move on to the next case, which is case 2, the business of baseball. So I'm going to start by presenting the first 5 summary of this case. So firstly, big data help managers make more rational and logical decisions. Number 2, by analyzing past match data, the team is able to improve continuously for the next match. Third, analysts provide a very detailed and personal reports of each members so that they can improve on the next match. The fourth summary is, data analysts help Manchester City identify their weakness, which led to better performance. Last but not least, the Manchester City used reliable data and statistical models to guide decisions, but football outcomes still depend on chance and human behavior. That is all for me, and now I'm going to pass to my next member to explain the more 5 summary. Thank you.
Thank you, Christina. Hi, I'm Nuri Farasira binti Muhammad Noor, 2504054. Now, I will continue with the summary. The next summary is probability is known, but the final result still involves change. Next, analysts use match video to help players learn and apply effective tactics. Next, big data help Manchester City achieve strong defense and win league title in 2012 and 2014. Next, Kevin De Bruyne can help Manchester City make so many changes because of how he plays using brain, but he has scored minimum goals. That's why it's inappropriate to only using quantitative information. The third and final summary point is, with quantitative and qualitative observation to the players, it can help Manchester City to become a champion. Thank you. That's all from me. I will pass to the next presenter.
Hi, it's me again. So now I'm going to answer question 215. What types of decisions were made by the football managers? So let's dissect a little deeper. So as we all know, decisions are divided into 2 categories, which are program and non-program. So program decisions or routine are the most efficient way to handle a structured problem. So they are repetitive and routine, so a specific approach has been worked out for handling them. Because the problem is well structured, the manager does not have to go through all the trouble and expense of an involved decision process. So next, when the problems are unstructured, managers must rely on non-program decisions in order to develop a unique solutions. Examples of non-program decisions include deciding whether to acquire another organization, deciding which global markets offer the most potential, or deciding whether to sell off an unprofitable division. So, according to our case, the decision made by the football managers, it is called a non-program decision. This decision addresses problems that are new, unpredictable, and not encountered before. This type of decisions rely heavily on decision makers' creativity, intuition, and also thoughtful judgment rather than preset rules. According to the case, the managers applied this decision when Manchester City was underperforming and decided to change their move and tactics after analyzing more than 500 corner kicks video. This was a non-program decision because it is new, strategic, and based on managerial judgment. So moving on to the next part of the question. I would definitely characterize these decisions as unstructured problems because the problems that usually occurs are new or unusual for which information is ambiguous and incomplete. The player could have problems with their tactics, coordination, and even communication on the fields. The managers couldn't pinpoint exactly what kind of problems will be faced by each player, thus why it's an unstructured problems. Football managers must use judgment, creativity, and even their experience to address these problems, which cannot be solved by following predefined rules or routine. Thank you, that is all from me. Now I'm going to pass to the next member to answer the following question.
Hello, my name is Hazel and I'll be presenting question 216 for case study 2, the business of baseball. So how do football managers make better decisions by using big data? Well, I'll get to that question after I explain what exactly big data is. Big data is basically the vast amount of quantifiable information that can be analyzed by highly sophisticated data processing. So back to my original question, you may be wondering how big data will be able to help football managers make better decisions. And it's by analyzing past football matches and using the data collected to make improvements in future matches to increase the team's chances of winning and to prevent them from making the same mistakes over and over again. Okay, so in terms of rationality, by using big data to make decisions, football managers are able to make more objective and logical decisions to bring their team to victory. For example, during football matches, the manager should be able to analyze each player's performance, and based on that observation, the players should improve what they lacked during that match. Okay, next is bounded rationality. It's almost the same as rationality earlier, except they are more limited by their ability to analyze information. So they have to choose which area to improve while sacrificing the need to improve another area due to time constraints or other restrictions. For example, Manchester City chose to improve their corner kicks over other techniques to ensure they will be able to make more improvements in their matches. Other than that, the managers can also make decisions based on their intuition or experiences, meaning they make decisions based on their gut feeling or past matches. By analyzing a match, they are able to make quick changes in the team to turn the tables around during a match. For example, switching a player out for another because that player may be able to play better and score more goals for the team. This really shows how important football managers are to help a team succeed. So through evidence-based management, the football managers use real data collected from past matches to support their decisions. They also analyze that data and apply it to future matches, which leads to continuous improvements. For example, Manchester City analyzed over 500 corner kicks to identify which technique worked best for their team, and by using this data, they were able to score more goals than their last match. So in conclusion, big data plays a huge role in football, especially in decision-making for the manager to ensure the team is able to win matches more. This also proves the importance of having a good manager and how it affects the team in good ways. That's all from me. Thank you.
For question 217, I'll be explaining what types of conditions are more likely to influence the work of a performance analyst team, and those conditions are risk and uncertainty. Let's start with risk. Risk is a situation where the decision maker can estimate the likelihood of certain outcomes. In other words, even though we don't know exactly what will happen, we can use past data or experience to make an informed prediction. In the context of performance analysis, analysts often work under risk because they have access to historical data from previous matches, training sessions, or even data collected from other teams. This allows them to assign probabilities to certain decisions. For example, after analyzing 500 corner kicks, analysts might find a pattern showing which tactics increase the likelihood of scoring. Based on that, they can estimate which play is more effective. However, these decisions are still based on estimation, not guarantee. So even though the data suggests a certain tactic works better, there's always a chance it might not work in a specific match situation. In short, this allows analysts to make data-driven decisions, but outcomes are still uncertain because football is a live, dynamic environment. Now let's move on to uncertainty. Uncertainty is quite different. It's a situation where the decision maker cannot estimate outcomes or probabilities at all. There isn't enough reliable information to predict what will happen next. In performance analysis, uncertainty appears when analysts face conditions that are unpredictable or outside their control. For instance, football matches are influenced by countless variables like opponent strategies, weather conditions, player injuries, and even the mental or emotional state of the players. Let's take an example. Suppose an analyst introduces a new tactical system after studying a video footage. They might believe it could improve performance, but there's no way to be certain. The opposing team could adjust their defensive style, the weather could change, or the key players could get injured. All these factors make the outcome unpredictable. So under conditions of uncertainty, analysts have to rely not just on data but also on judgment, intuition, and experience. To conclude, the performance analyst team operates mainly under conditions of risk and uncertainty. While data and past experience help them make informed decisions and reduce some of the risk, the nature of sport, especially football, means there will always be unpredictable factors that make total certainty impossible. So their challenge is to balance analytical evidence with adaptability and quick decision making in the face of uncertainty. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Parham Alexandria Malik. My ID is 242119114. Today I will answering question number 2 strip 18. Do you think it is appropriate for a football manager to use only quantitative information to evaluate their players' performance during session? Why or why not? So from our discussion, it's a no, because it's not appropriate to use only quantitative information. Managers should use both numbers and personal observation. So we give two reasons why it's not appropriate for a football manager. Okay, the first one is on football, numbers can show teamwork or attitude their player. Okay, it's such. Okay, for example, there's a player called uh, Sergio Busquets from Barcelona. So he he can run, and his dribble is good, but his passing and shooting is kind of bad. But he can motivate and have a smart movement that can create a chances to 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 set a goal. So I think that's why uh the on football the number it cannot show their player full. For the second reason is qualitative observation provide bigger picture. Okay. Watching how players communicate, react, and adapt during matches give deeper insight. For example, a defender position or decision making can always be seen in static. So, such as a back player, he only can defend, but he cannot set a goal. So that's why uh, qualitative observation is needed more because we have so many players and they have their own work. Why are they there? So the observation can help the manager to understand the real performance for each player. Okay, I think that's all.
Hi, it's me again, Nurif Manazila, 25004054. Now, I will proceed to my part, which is question 219. How can big data transform football decision in the future? First is predictive modeling for strategy and tactic. Big data will transform future tactics and strategies. Detailed observation program will help teams analyze opponent weakness, predict player performance and adjust tactics before and during matches. For example, in the case study, Manchester City studied more than 500 corner kicks from the 2010 until 2011 season and discovered what caused misses change. This evidence-based approach helped them improve set pieces and score more goals the following season. This shows how predictive modeling can be even more advanced in the future. Second is by player development and recruitment. Big data will transform youth development and recruitment. Club can track player unique characteristics and growth curve to create personalized training programs. Example, in the case study, Manchester City gave each player a personalized report after every match, helping them understand their strengths and weaknesses. This method will help future youth players develop faster with more targeted training. For recruitment, big data can be used to identify players who fit the team's tactical philosophy. In the case study, Manchester City even organized a global hackathon in 2016 to create algorithms that identify new moves, passing patterns, and decision-making behavior. This shows how data will continue to guide smarter recruitment choices in the future. So overall, big data will make future football decisions more strategic, more personalized, and more evidence-based, just like how Manchester City already used data to improve performance. Thank you. That's all from me. This is the end of our presentation. Thank you for listening.
Hi again, my name is Hazel and I'll conclude the case study to the business of baseball. So from everything my groupmates have presented, it's clear how much big data has changed how football teams operate in terms of decision making, performance, and team structure. Throughout the case study, we can see that managers nowadays face a lot of new and unpredictable problems. So they can't just rely on solely routine decisions, they need a mix of structured analysis and their own judgment to respond to what happens during a match. Big data helps this by giving managers and analysts detailed information on how each player should perform and which tactics work best, even though football will always involve their risks and uncertainties, like for example weather or player injuries or unexpected decisions. But with data, it can reduce some of that uncertainty and give managers better guidance. We can also see that from this case, big data is becoming more important for long-term success and not just short-term. Big data also helps with development, recruitment, and analyzing hundreds of match situations like corner kicks, and as football continues to grow, the role of data will only get bigger and teams that use big data for improvement will have an advantage. So overall, this case study shows us that using data to guide decisions while also using human judgment will help make teams better and stronger. And that's all from us. Thank you.